There we go. This is beyond. Let's check it out. And I really hope we don't get a copyright strike because of the music. Let me view that. Are we live? Can I see you guys? Is there any way I can see your messages anywhere? Oh, wow. And we are live, and let me play a bit of music there. Hopefully we don't get a copyright strike. Hey! Oh, wow. Streamception. That is me. I'm gonna pause that. I just wanted to see if it was playing. There we go. All right. Well, I just want to see if anyone's online right now. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, and I don't even know if it's gonna work. Right now, we got a couple of microphones right here. You can see them. This is the Fifine K669d. And this is the Maono PD100. Okay, well, I want to know, how are you guys doing? If you are doing well, or however you're feeling, leave your feelings in the comments. Faith, it's so good to see you. Hey. Welcome. Hello there. I wish I could pronounce your name, but that is a familiar spelling. I believe I have possibly seen one of your comments. Good to see you. So we're just doing a quick stream here, see what we can do. Yeah, bump up the music a bit because awkward silence. Welcome to my world. Awkward silence all day, thanks to the soundproofing and sound treatment. Okay, well, we got a couple of mics today, and I just wanted to see if this format would work at all. Does it look good on your phones? Does it look like a screen on top and a screen at the bottom, or what does it look like? Let me switch this up a bit. Can I drag this? There we go. Well, that's pretty neat. Let me try to change the format. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. Let's not do that. We can do this. We can do that. It's a bit of a wider view with the mic cut. But yeah, I guess this works. I guess a bit more of me, a bit more of the mics would do. Let's zoom in a bit. There we go. Okay. Yes, keep grinding, Silence XD. I was talking about awkward silence earlier, and perfect. Yeah. Quick note, you might be noticing that there's a dent in the SM58. Somebody was using this. This was a church mic. No. This is our copy. I think this is my wife's mic. She must have dropped it somewhere. Anyway, settings are good. There are many cuts. Ooh. That ain't good. I wonder why. So that's got to be a Wi-Fi thing. I think I know why. I think it's because we might be using another source for the internet. Could it be because I'm using Wi-Fi right now? Oh, it became quiet all of a sudden. Oh, there are cuts. It is a bit jittery. Well, so I'm curious, do you like the sound, at least, of this microphone? Oops, let me switch over to this mic. This is the SM58. For those of you who don't know, this microphone is legendary. You can get it for like 99 bucks. And you can barbecue this mic. You can put it in a fridge. You can do all sorts of things with it. Use it as a hammer. and it is going to survive. Thank you. Yes, at least I am heard. We will work on that. We will work on improving the connectivity. I really don't get it though. Why is it that way? I'm gonna look into it. Yeah. So another reason why this is such a tough mic. See this over here? This is actually not part of the mic. It is a massive pop filter. It is a metal mesh grill with foam right over there. So I could even run it through the light so you can see the mesh. See that? Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, but it is translucent-ish. Light passes through this if you look close enough. And this is what that looks like. The SM58 from the inside. Okay. It is so awkward without the music. I'm gonna put the music back. I think we have some music. I think that's why we have music in live streams. Okay. Well, a lot of you might be checking this out as well to hear the Fifine AM8, which is a phenomenal budget microphone. Let me switch to that. And oh, there we go. I have switched to the Fifine AM8, and this is how that sounds. This is a bit processed as well. Can you hear it? This is the Fifine AM8. What microphones do you guys want me to test soon? Just leave it in the comments. If there's something you want me to test, let me know. Or if you want me to test this AM8 in any particular way, there's something we can do. This mic goes for about $54, $59. And it's 16-bit. That means the resolution in the USB isn't that high, but it's usable. But the straight out of mic sound is pretty good, I'd say. This is pretty good. But yeah, let me remove that EQ. There we go. Okay, because there was a bit of processing. So this is without the processing, and now this is with the processing. And the reason why I'm doing the stream actually is to, test out a couple of things. Yeah, the Behringer Bigfoot. Right. I of course. Well, if it's on sale sometime, I could look into it. They're very interesting. Yeah, the Behringer Bigfoot. I really love how they named it. It's so original. So original. Behringer Bigfoot. Yeah, so this is the AM8. Have I ever told you how velvety the foam is? Oh my gosh, look at this. The smothering caress of this foam. It's unlike any other. It's, the SM7B foam is solid. It is heavy duty, but it is sterile. It is very sterile. Yes, Joel. Joel. I'll take it as Joel. Yeah. It is very cheap. I mean, I wouldn't say it's cheap. I would say it's cost effective. My goodness. I mean, can you hear this? This sounds great, right? So Joel, if you want to improve your AM8 audio even more, what you can actually do is get an audio interface. Are you already using an interface for it, or are you still using it in USB mode? Yeah, sounds pretty good even without headphones. That's a good sign. Yeah, Rahati, sure thing. A great budget interface to use right now. And I'm gonna go on Amazon for this. Don't quote me on this because I'm not sure if the sale is available right now. Right now, you are hearing me via the Focusrite Vocaster Two. This is my top recommendation for the money right now. If you can afford something between $69 to $99, then you are getting great bang for buck. The Vocaster 2 is, let me show you what it looks like. Let me move this camera over here. Streaming. Let's see. Move that really quickly. Oops. You know what? I'll just show it over here. This is the Vocaster 2. This is the Vocaster 2. But this was a $300 interface when it first came out, and I got it on sale for $99 thanks to this gentleman named Mike Newman. For 99 bucks. It was too good. I could not resist. I had to buy it, and now you are hearing that audio live. Dio, yes, you're actually planning to save for that interface. Absolutely. It is very, very good. So I was talking about the Vocaster One. Let me grab the link over here, so hopefully you can find it on sale. Because I did my research, and when the Vocaster One came out about 2 years ago, this was gonna be Focusrite's new thing. You know, you got the whole pandemic, everyone and their mom and their barber is getting an audio interface. And so Focusrite thought, you know, let's try to switch things up where, you know, our Scarlett series is pretty good, but if we do something specifically for gamers, streamers, most content creators, that is going to be one of our best sellers. Yeah, one of my favorite features of this Vocaster 2, by the way, the mute button. So I can sneeze without worrying because I can just hit mute when I'm about to sneeze or cough or something. Okay. So, yes, absolutely, Apex. It is a great mic for the price. So here is the link. I left the link in the chat. That is the link to the Focusrite Vocaster One. So why am I advocating for the Vocaster One? Well, again, if the Vocaster 2 was $300 when it first came out, and I got it for $99, and that was a very rare occasion. I got the last one that was on sale for $99. The Vocaster One was a $200 interface when it first came out, and it is now a $99 interface. Still pretty good. And so that's half the price. And if you look hard enough, and if you're fortunate enough, you might be able to find the Vocaster One with the included microphone, the Vocaster DM1, a Focusrite DM1. I'm not sure what it's called. And it's a studio set. You get a studio set for $99, which is bonkers. Okay, let me try to answer a couple of your questions before I ramble on. Let's see. Rahadi says, can you recommend a budget audio interface? Yep, absolutely. I can actually show this. Yeah, I can show it. So I'm actually planning to save for that. Is their interface good? It absolutely is. How good is the Vocaster exactly? 70 decibels of gain. There you go. And, you know, they don't mention the EIN or how quiet the preamps are, but I've tried it myself, and you can hear it right now. This is pretty quiet. I am not using... Okay, I am streaming with echo cancellation, apparently. Let me turn that off. Okay, I've just turned off echo cancellation. How does that sound? Is it any different? You might hear a bit more of hiss. I'm not hearing hiss on my end. This is still probably very, very quiet. So the Vocaster series, whether you get the Vocaster One or the Vocaster 2, they have preamps that go up to 70 decibels of gain, meaning they can power the SM7B nice and fine. There will be a tiny bit of hiss for the SM7B, but it is very usable in my humble opinion. Now, if it is powerful enough to drive the gain-hungry SM7B, well, you'll have a lot of headroom. You'll have plenty of room. See, I'm clipping here. I gotta drop my gain. I gotta drop my gain. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Oh, wait, I'm controlling the guest knob. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have tons of gain. I think I'm using, what, 60% of the full gain here, and we're getting pretty good levels. So that's what we can do with the Vocaster series. Let's see. Dio says, oh wait, let's see. Joel says, I'm just using it through USB at the moment. Even through USB, it still sounds very good. I completely agree with you. The preamps in the AM8 have no business sounding that good at that price point. We are spoiled. We are spoiled. Any new content creation of this generation, if you use these USB mics that you get for $54, $60, you get killer sound that is, I would say, 90% of the audio that you need, essentially. Sometimes, anything cooler that we do, this is kind of just a way to sound cooler, to look cooler, right? But it is already very good audio. Apex Lodestar says the AM8 is a great dynamic mic for the price. Absolutely. I agree. And again, so I mentioned the Vocaster, by the way, because, we're using the AM8 right now. It can help your Focusrite or your AM8, whatever mic you're using, sound better. Let me hit that enhancement button. Bam. All of a sudden, it sounds darker, it sounds a bit fatter, and it's not as sibilant. I can actually drop some of the S's here, right there. Let me control that. The Vocaster is bonkers because what this does, what this thing does, and the little Vocaster One as well, it gives you software that lets you apply EQ and compression and a high-pass filter live. And those are crazy features to have that normally you would pay so much for. I paid like $200, almost $300 for a DBX286S hardware channel strip, and it's a bit unwieldy. It's huge. The connectivity is horrible. It takes up so much desk space. It has a lot of preamp noise, but the Vocaster, when you apply EQ with the Vocaster, oh my goodness. And here's the best part. You might be thinking, well, that's the software, Dave. I want cool hardware. Here's the thing. The enhancement button in the Vocaster, the moment that you set the presets in the software, the presets that you set in the software latch on to the hardware. It is amazing. When I switched to my iPad, I was like, okay, well, where's the Vocaster Hub software for iPad? I can't find it in the App Store. Well, that's because there isn't one. That's because you don't need the Vocaster Hub software on mobile, because the moment that you set it on your computer and you have all the compression features, the EQ, take it with you wherever, on any device, hit enhancement, bam, you have your presets. And just having all of those effects stack up, you are saving a ton of money. So, okay, I'm super excited. I'm super excited here because it is just such a bang for buck interface. Titan here says, is it worth it to swap my Fifine K669d for AM8? No, it is not. It is not. These are different mics. Let me switch for those of you who want to hear the K669d. I fell in love with the K669d, and I still, in some ways, prefer it over the AM8. How do I... Yeah. Live stream moment. There we go. Let me switch mics. All right, now... Okay, that doesn't sound so good. Let me fix that. Are these my presets for the K669d? Huh. Not the best presets. That sounds very muffled. Hold on, let me fix that. That's a bit too much bass. Let me drop that. Yep, there we go. I dropped the mids. Yeah, I think I'm right there. Let's add a bit of treble. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, that's a bit better. Uh-huh. Okay. I have too much compression on. Let me drop that a bit. And yeah, how does this sound? I think this sounds great. Right there. Even better when louder. There we go. There we go. I think the K688 is, I would say, an alternative to the AM8. I wouldn't necessarily call it the predecessor. In a sense, yeah, the AM8 was released shortly after the K688, maybe a couple of months after, but I can't necessarily say that it's an improvement. You know, they're in a very similar price range, but you know, build quality wise, the K688 is metal. It it is a bit resonant though, so I wouldn't. But hey, I'm doing it right now. You're not gonna hear that metal clanging unless I actually hit it, which I'll stop doing that now. But the AM8 is plastic. So in terms of build quality, you're actually getting a bit more out of the K688. So this is a very, very good interface in my opinion. Oh my goodness, so many questions. I think I'll try to keep going faster now since you have all these questions. Mute button is the best button. Absolutely, Faith. I agree. OM Piang says, which audio interface is good with the K669d from between, you're torn between the Scarlett Solo 4th Gen and the Vocaster One. At the end of the day, it depends on your use case, because there are some things that the Scarlett Solo can do that the Vocaster One cannot, and that is primarily the high sample rate. What is sample rate? This is basically, you know how with cameras you have 24 frames per second, 60 frames per second, and the higher that number is, the more fluid looking your footage is? Well, that's kind of like what sample rate is. A sample is a moment in time of audio that is captured. So if you say a microphone has a sample rate of 48 kilohertz or 48,000 hertz, it takes 48,000 samples in the span of a second. So that's a technical answer. Let me go straight to the more practical one. The Vocaster Two goes up to 24-bit, 48 kilohertz, which is right exactly at the usual standard of professional audio. Now, that is great because I only have one voiceover client ever in the world in my entire career who asks for audio beyond 24-bit, 48 kilohertz. Just one client. No other client has requested that of me. So that said, so that's in 12 years, almost 12 years of voiceover. You can get away with 24-bit, 48 for a very long time with the Vocaster One. So with the Focusrite, yeah, you'd have 4 times the sample rate. It goes up to 192, which is way more. And to be honest, it's a bit overkill. You actually really won't need that. So why would you want a higher sample rate? Well, it enables for slightly better post-processing in post. If you want to do like pitch shifting without sounding like a chipmunk, yeah, that's kind of where it helps. So it lets you kind of bend and tweak your audio without distorting it so much. And so if you're mostly going to use it for live applications, I would say just go for the Vocaster One, Vocaster Two, whichever. Incredible, incredible audio, especially if you're looking to be a content creator. However, you know, if you're a musician, if you are a musician, the Focusrite Scarlett series has direct inputs. These are meant for instruments, and they also use combo jacks. So you can plug in your guitars, you can plug in your bass guitars, and you know, you can't do that with the Vocaster. It really is purely a podcast voiceover speech focused audio interface. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's keep going. got louder. Oh, is it much louder? Is it too loud? Okay. Rahati says, too bad the Vocaster 2 is around $300. Yeah. That kind of sucks, doesn't it? I would add the Vocaster 2 to my Amazon cart, and once in a while Amazon will pester you and say, "Hey, remember this? It's still in your cart." And once in a while you're going to find that you find a discount on it. Now, I personally only order from Amazon if the product is about $100 or less, because anything more than that, you're going to get more import fees, duty, taxes, things like that, and the product ends up becoming twice as much as it used to cost. So yeah, that's a bit much. But, you know, if it's sub $100, free shipping. So that's why I got the Vocaster 2 for exactly that amount. So Apex Lodestar says, I love the Fifine AM8. It does a great job of rejecting background noise. I completely agree with you. And Cyrus has a question, why my USB sound card can't receive my voice. It's buzzing. I'm not sure I can address this very specific concern. Usually there are quite a number of reasons. What USB sound card are you using exactly? Are you using an audio interface? Do you have drivers? Are you plugging straight into your laptop without using an audio interface? There are quite a number of things. If you could answer a bit more of that, please leave it in the chat. So Apex says, really wish the AM8 wasn't plastic. I know it's to keep the price down, but still... Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, if they made a metal version of the AM8, that would be gorgeous. That would be gorgeous. But yeah, I think that is going to be a very specific niche. But I think it's possible because, spoiler alert, I do have the Fifine Tank 3 right over here. And I have unboxed this. I do have my thoughts on this, but I think I'm covering it. Let me hide that. There we go. There it is, the Tank 3. So there we go. Love the Tank 3. Why did I mention the Tank 3? Because yeah, essentially it is what you're talking about. It is like a metal AM8, metal K668, and it is actually built like a tank. I'm so tested to do a durability test on the Tank 3. You know, dropping and doing a mic drop test from a helicopter. Nah, we're not doing helicopter drop test here. But yeah, it really lives up to its name. You wouldn't expect it to be cheap. But it is also on the pricier side of mics, so of the budget mics. It's about almost twice the price of an AM8, so it makes sense that it's built that way. Let's see. Let's see a couple more things here. Wow, we're getting more and more streamers. I did not expect this. I didn't. Oh my goodness, so many comments. I can't keep up. Let me try to keep going. I might have missed something here. Apex says, also make sure it's shipped and sold by Amazon. Absolutely agree with you. Muhammad, tell me, how do I remove the background noise like the air sound and also voices? Well, I'm not exactly sure which background noise you're referring to, Mohammed, but if you're using the PD200x, let me show you that. I do have the PD200x, but I'm going to have to find it. It is tucked away somewhere. Maybe we can do that for another video, but you would have access to the Maono Link software, Mohammed, and because of that, you could start with the high pass filter. Do not activate the presence boost, because if you do that, yes, you get more articulation in your voice, but at the cost of introducing a bit more hiss in the top end. So that's one way that I'd start with that. I believe they've also updated the Maono Link software to have a more comprehensive EQ. So I would start with just playing around with the EQ. It is not super, and it is not a complex EQ where you can control everything. I think you only have 6 or 7 sliders. Play around with it. Try dragging the highs down really low. Essentially, you're lowering the volume of the hiss. So give that a shot. See what it does. And that is what I love about the K688 and AM8. I believe they only go up to 15 kilohertz, which is 5 kilohertz lower than the 20 that is standard. The maximum human hearing range, because we don't really need 15 to 20K. That is great though if you're if you want more clarity and articulation. It's great for music, but if you're just doing a broadcast like this, you don't want to get some of that sound into your audio. So that's one possible way of doing it. Hopefully Maono introduces noise reduction in their Maono Link software. So are you saying Scarlett not suitable for recordings? Actually, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Scarlett is, if recordings are your sole priority, it's the better option for recording. It is. Because of those features, it goes up to 192 kilohertz, because it also has an instrument input. It is essentially designed with musicians in mind foremost. The whole Scarlett line of audio interfaces came to life because, for musicians, rather. And it was just, along the way that people figured out, okay, we can use these interfaces for voiceover as well, for content creation. And then it was starting with interfaces like the Vocaster series, the Rodecaster series, the Wave XLR, and things like that, that people started making interfaces for content creators. So again, just between the Vocaster One and the Scarlett Solo, Solo has recording in mind foremost. Vocaster has live recordings and performance in mind foremost. Vocaster, live. Scarlett, recording. I hope that answers the question. Apex has a question about the Tank 3. Oh yeah, I heard many great things about the Tank 3. Well, yeah, I absolutely dig it myself. It sounds great. No denying that. Yeah, I'm going to reserve my thoughts for it. Otherwise, you guys aren't going to watch my full video. Okay. And you haven't made a video about the Tank 3 yet? I have made it. It's been recorded for quite some time now. It's just that my editor has been, I'd say, overworked. So let's give my editor some time. But that is the next video that is coming out. That is the next one. What audio interface am I using right now? This is the Vocaster 2. This is the Vocaster 2. So can you imagine that this is the sound quality that you can get on the Vocaster One? No kidding. What you're hearing right now. It does have, like I said, EQ, compression, and all that, but in a very non-intimidating, simplified way. You don't have to be like, oh, am I an audio whiz? No, you don't have to be. In fact, I would say the controls on the Vocaster are a bit underwhelming. Because, yeah, you only have, for the compression, you only have one control. And a standard compressor, usually has three controls. You have your attack release, ratio, threshold, 4, usually 4. And this has 1. But it works. It works. So it really simplifies everything. You have 3 bands for EQ. And that's enough. That really is enough. I wish it were more granular, but I understand that they're really trying to target newer creators with it. So they really simplified it. But Focusrite listened and they really did update the software based on feedback. Back then, they did not have this. In fact, it does have 4 immediate presets. So let me switch to the clean preset. This is my custom preset right here. You're listening to that right now. Okay, this is the radio preset. Let me tweak this ever so slightly. Here, oh, let me. I kind of. You can actually edit the presets to be your own custom presets. So I gotta revert them to the original sound. Okay, this is the radio preset straight out of the box. This is the clean preset straight out of the box. This is the warm preset straight out of the box. Now I wouldn't use this for the K688. It's a bit much. This is the bright preset straight out of the box. Okay, so I gotta fix my EQ again. All right, let's fix that. Right there. Okay, that's better. I like that better. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Can you try the K669d? Sure thing. Let me switch over to the K669d. I'm doing that right now. I'm gonna switch. Oops. Let me turn something else on. Just Okay, this is the AM8, but I'm gonna turn off the K688 quickly. Okay. I'm hearing. I'm reading some. There are some PD200x fans over here. Why didn't you bring the PD200x? Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it. It's my first time doing a stream like this, and I was not expecting an attendance like this. I thought there would be like 1 or 2 people. So, I didn't think this would be this long, but what am I doing? What am I doing? Let me fix this. Right. There. Okay. Let me switch over to the K669d. Okay. There we go. K669d. Let me remove the enhancement. There we go. This is the raw audio of the K669d. Straight out of interface. No edits, no nothing. This is the Fifine K669d. Pesky peas perpetuate problematic plosives. Pesky peas perpetuate problematic plosives. Really has the best plosive performance or resistance of any budget mic that I've ever tried. Crazy for the price, $37. Let's keep going. Very kind of you to give your editor a break. Yep, well, my editor needs all the help they can get. That's why my second to the latest video is actually my own edit. I'm trying to get back into the game and edit some of my own videos. I miss doing that. I kind of forgot that I fell in love with editing way back. So there's that. Let's see. Hi, 12. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is asking for the PD200x. Do we do that now? I'm going to have to look for it. And, oh boy, might take up a bit of time, but, well, really quickly, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to use the K669d as a lapel right now. Nah, I can't. Cable's too short. If the cable were longer, maybe I could. Yeah, maybe next time. We'll see. If we have a bit of time later. Wait, give me a sec. Is the AM8 longer? I think the AM8 is longer. Let me switch back to the AM8. I'm gonna mute the K669d. Okay, there we go. AM8 is longer. And again, this is with an enhanced audio, guys. This is the AM8 with a bit of post-processing the way I like it. Let me go look for the PD200x. see all these open boxes. I was just rushing in to do this test, but I wasn't really expecting that we'd be going on for a bit longer like this. But this is fun. This is fun. You know, we can actually get some content out there, answer some questions and concerns without having to pressure my editor into working more. Give me a moment. By the way, plot twist, the editor is my wife. Surprise, surprise. Does that make better sense? I hope it does. Yeah, I've been all over the place with the boxes as of late. I've been thinking of how to label them in a more organized fashion. You know, they're neat right now, but the organizing isn't exactly the most efficient. I do have the PD200x here. Is that something you guys would like to see? Here. Okay. Really quickly. PD200x, where are you? You guys even know what Scooby-Doo is? PD200x, where are you? You got some work to do now. Okay. Oh, you know what else I found? BM800. BM800. Okay, we'll come back to that. So cool to have many mics at your disposal. I am blessed. A lot of these were sent my way. A lot of them with my own money as well. My mouse keeps right-clicking for some reason. I need to find a way to not trigger that menu. It is being weird. Let me turn this off, turn it on, see what that does. Okay, that's not fixing it. Technical concerns. Yay. We love them technical concerns. Yep, I struck gold. Well, she was my wife first before she became my editor. Someone wishes me more subs. Who is this? I really appreciate it. I would like to show this on the stream. I'm showing it on the stream. Come on, come on, come on, mouse. Why do you keep highlighting? Why do you... It is being weird. There we go. Oh. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, I see. The mic was on the control button. Makes sense. Thank you so much, Titan. Appreciate it. Miko says PM500 XLR and Boya BY M1000. Well, I reviewed the M1000 Pro. It's pretty great. I actually recommend it for maximum plosive rejection. Not sure Boya currently has a promo for the BY M1000. I heard it, and I think it's essentially the same mic with fewer polar patterns. I'm not sure. It sounded good to me, though. The PM500, I believe, has a very dark sound. I've heard reviews of it. But we'll see, we'll see. It depends, kind of depends. You know, we gotta make sure that doing this whole mic review thing is sustainable and that we can survive and that we're not spending all our money on mics. Which do I think is best, the K669d or the PD100? Good question. And that is a tough one. Am I going to answer that now, or am I going to save that for a versus video? Oh, look at what else I found. This is like a knockoff Lewitt LCT 240 Pro. That's a knockoff. I bought the knockoff not because I wanted to use it, but so I could compare a knockoff to the real deal. But I haven't quite gotten down to that. So, got into it. Let's see. Where is the PD200X? Come on, reveal yourself. Oh. Getting lost in these boxes. I need to use the Control F button. I'm gonna form Lego blocks in the process. I don't know if you guys can hear me when I shout. Because I know the AM8 is so good at noise rejection, there's a possibility that you guys can't hear me. But you know, just so that we can get another test going while I look for the PD200X, I'm going to switch over to the PD100. Let me do that right now. Okay. Maono PD100. Here we are. Oh, wow. I missed the sound. I haven't heard this in ages. It sounds better than I remember. And it's quieter than I'd think. Wow. Can you hear that? That is a silent noise floor. I can't hear anything. No hiss, no nothing. Vocaster 2, by the way. If you get the Vocaster One, you would get the exact same preamp performance. No noise, no hiss, no nothing. Oh, I got another PD100. Like, I figured I'd do a podcast of sorts sometime later on. Come on, PD200X. You know you want to show up. I'm gonna do a bit of cleaning later. Oh, there's another K668. I think that's the one I bought with my own money. So the thing with a K688, I think I got really attached to that mic. It was so good when it first came out. Like, nothing even came close. It's still pretty good. Like, by today's standards, still pretty good. Oh, look. This is the K658. Maono Fifine, sorry. Fifine K658. Okay, I'm gonna sit down for a bit and see what else you guys have to say, because yeah, I've been looking all over the place. PM 500 review, that would be pretty good. Toner TD510, yeah, I've heard about it. It was like, and I've heard the reviews, and to be honest, like, just hearing it, I wasn't too convinced that I wanted to get it. Because maybe for me, maybe this is just me, I have an allergy for too much bass. You know, there's that fine line between having a nice bit of a bass bump, you know, kind of like this, ever so slightly, and there's between this and this. That was very subtle, but let me drop that a bit. Yeah, this is just cutting the bass, but this is much for me. This is much. Yeah, I think the toner was kind of like that. I know Bandrew loves the XM8500, and I did for some time, but as I kept using it, it was just too muddy for my taste. Okay, I mean, I'm sure Bandrew likes it for the price. I'm not saying he loves it. Okay, let's see. Take a look at the Takstar mics. Yeah, you know what? I've been seeing them. I've been looking at them, and I was like, do people really want this? Because I do research. For those of you who don't know, I do keyword research, make sure to look into what people are looking for to make sure that I know if you guys are actually interested in the mics. The volume, the search volume is pretty low in general for Takstar mics. But, you know, I don't make all of my video making decisions based on search volume alone and competition. Because sometimes you like for instance, the Vocaster stuff. This is very low in terms of search volume. Not a lot of people are looking for it. Maybe because Focusrite didn't quite market it as well enough. And to be honest, they introduced these products to the market a bit overpriced. Well, for most people at least. But I think these are sleeper interfaces with killer features. By the way, you can connect these straight into your camera, straight into your phone via a camera out. It is bonkers. It is bonkers. I was testing the Vocaster by plugging it into my iPhone earlier, and I was like, wow. And by the way, I'm not using an iPhone 15 with USB-C. This is a 12 Pro Max with Lightning, and it works. And I was like, wow. Wow, it actually works. And so content creation is going to be so much more of a joy if you get the Vocaster series and you are a content creator. I think we are close. I think we are finally going to find the PD200X. I just have a strong feeling we are very close. This here is the V8 sound card. Horrible, horrible sound card. I thought I would make a review of it, but it was just so bad. Ended up not doing it. I was like, are we going to waste people's time with this? But maybe I could, just to warn people that it is horrible. This is the camera box, right? Where did I put that thing? Is it here? Is it somewhere in front that... Because the PD200X is one of my standard faves. Well, let's keep going. But yeah, I could look into the Takstar mics because that is another group of mics that I have not seen. How many mics do I have? I don't know. Quite a bit. Quite a few. Apex says, Maono makes really good budget mics. I agree. You know, I was just talking about the XM8500. We can switch to that. No, you know what? I'm just going to switch between this PD100 and the K669d so you guys can kind of compare. Oh, it sounds good because I have enhancement on. There we go. Okay, that's more honest. Still pretty good. Still pretty good. A bit silkier. No, the top end isn't harsh. It really isn't. Oh, wow. There's a fair bit of articulation. Yeah, there's kind of a dip there. I believe the PD100 has kind of a high-pass filter at the bottom. Like, it doesn't capture a lot of the lows that much, but it's good. It sounds pretty full enough. I wouldn't mind doing a two-person podcast with two PD100s. And I'll be honest, guys, form factor, appearance kind of matters. Like, look at that. That is a pro mic. It kind of does. Let me switch over to... There we go. K669d. Flat. What do you think? Did the PD100 sound better, or did the K669d sound better? Okay. Puspo is asking, if I tell you to make a head-to-head comparison between the PD200X versus the AMA, versus the K688, which will you choose? Oh my goodness, yeah, good one. That is a good one. I'll have to think really hard about that one because there are so many pros and cons to consider. The PD200X has the most AD conversion potential because it's 24-bit and because it has software. So by that virtue, straight out of the box for your budget, you can get it to sound pretty good. Like compared to getting a PD200, getting a K688 or AM8, you can get limiting and compression right there. But this is just me, and this is not for all people. I tend to have a higher voice. This is my natural speaking voice. I'm not modulating at all, but sometimes, you know, I can do this. I can. But, you know, I'm just being transparent here. I know that a lot of the viewers of the channel are younger and possibly haven't finished puberty, so I kind of own the whole high-pitched thing. But for my voice, my point is, for my voice, the PD200X already accentuates the natural nasality that I have for my voice, so it's probably not the best mic for me. But for those of you with chestier voices with a bit more resonance, I think you might enjoy it more than the K688, than the AM8, because you'll get a bit more articulation. Whereas, these are boxes. Oh my goodness. We'll be doing a little bit of cleaning later. Can you suggest a mic under 50 USD? That is a good question, and again, I'm very careful with my answers if I don't know your context, but if you're talking about a USB mic, you could look into under 50 bucks. Yeah, K669d. This is solid. If you're just looking for an XLR only mic, K669d, PD100, you cannot go wrong with these mics. Both are great. PD100, K669d has better plosive rejection. Let me show that. Pesky Ps perpetuate problematic plosives. Pesky Ps perpetuate problematic plosives. That was actually pretty close. But in my testing, I think the K669d trumps all in terms of plosive rejection. Just because it's got that 3 layers of pop rejection thing going on. Haven't I been here before? I cannot find the PD200X. But if you would like to invest, I think this is here. I think this is the one. I think this is the one. Oh my goodness, there it is. It was right behind me this whole time. One of the first boxes I took out. There you go. Your beloved PD200X. There. Enjoy it. Center stage. There, look at it. I found it for you. I'm kind of blocking it with... Let me hide this highlighted thing. There we go. Oh, it's not visible. There, PD200X. Center stage. There. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a bit. Please show the Maono PD200X in this video. There you go. PD200X. Everyone loves the PD200X. And I get it. It is the most searched for microphone right now. It really is. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the PD200X. Maybe between the K669d and the PD200X. Let me switch really quickly. I'm using the PD100 right now, so you're going to hear a quick jump from the PD100 to the... Oh my goodness, I dropped the BM800. Poor BM800. Yeah, those are the things you don't see behind the scenes. I do drop mics once in a while. Let me switch over. There we go. There we go. Can you hear it? Can you hear it now? This is the PD200X you guys have been asking for. Oh my god. Everyone's like, yes, PD200. Yes, please. I get it, guys. I know you love this mic. Toner TD510 in USB mode sounds like you're behind a wall. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I heard. That's why I haven't bothered. Also, Toner wouldn't send the mics to the Philippines for some reason. Maybe shipping costs and whatever. Takstar is basically AKG, but cheaper. Huh. Okay. Yeah, let's look into it. Any mic better than the AM8 under 50 bucks? Better. Better is a tough word. It really depends on your space, and I know you don't like it depends, but again, better is what's better for you, right? It's what's better for you. If you don't have a lot of sound treatment, the AM8 is the way to go. I have no doubt about it. Nothing comes close at that price. If you can get it for like 54, 59 bucks, AM8 is the USB XLR combo mic that is going to give you the best value for money. Excuse me. I should use the mute button more. There we go. I used the mute button. Very handy.
But for those of you who are looking for XLR mics, I'll tell you now, the Neat Worker B2 is on Amazon right now, and it has been in my cart, and I've been thinking very hard about whether to get it or not. Why does it matter? The Neat Worker B2, this thing was a $99 mic. It is currently at 40% off. It is $59 right now. And even at 99 bucks, it was like one of those mics that, oh, this sounds better than the Audio Technica AT2020. So it's a really, really good mic. Is it less than the value of the King B? No, it is not a lesser version of the King B. It is not a baby version of the King B. It is for a different use case. Smaller diaphragms tend to capture higher frequencies better. That's why, you have these shotgun mics, and you have, with the pianos and everything, you have these mics that aim downwards they have tinier capsules, right? And basically, mics that make you sound huge, these are large diaphragm condenser microphones. So generally, they have a flatter, warmer sound, but the mics with the tiny diaphragms, they accentuate the highs a bit more. They're different. I wouldn't say they're necessarily worse. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, I was grabbing a link. I was gonna paste the link to the Worker B2 $60 mic, $60, $59, but it is. What do you say? It is normally 99, but even at 99, it was packing a punch quite a bit. Wow. I'm gonna keep going. There's so many comments. How am I gonna keep up with you guys? So many comments. 517. Have you tried the new update of the Maono link, the noise gate? Oh, well, thank you, James, for informing me. To be honest, the last time I tried the software, it was conking out on me. It would not do the update. And Maono was actually asking me to make a new updated review, kind of like a showcase of the EQ feature. I could not get it to work because the update would not work for some reason. I am using Mac M2. I'll look into it. Hopefully, I can get it to work. If I can get it to work, I will make a video of it because I've been meaning to do that as well. Review the PD200X in this video. Well, I can't give a full review. I wouldn't do it justice because one of the big selling points of the PD200X is the onboard EQ. Sorry, it's not onboard. The software that comes with it. If you plug the PD200X into your computer, the software will detect that you are using the PD200X. But the PD200X itself does not have DSP processing. It does not do work inside of the mic, aside from the preamplification and the AD conversion. Yeah, I can't just I can't use it in USB mode right now because I am using the Vocaster as my source, and switching inputs could ruin the stream. I'll look into that. It's my first time streaming, so I don't want to change interfaces just yet. Let's see. But the noise gate, if there's a noise gate that comes with it, James, that would be amazing, and I would love to give it a shot. Velma says we want PD200X. Yeah, like I said, here you go. Seems like the noise gate is not working. Oh, okay. So in your opinion or in your experience, it hasn't worked for you. Well, I'll look into it. I'm very excited to try it out once I have the time. But hopefully Maono figures it out. Unearthly says, the new K668 revision has a gap between the membrane and the metallic mesh. Handles plosives very good. Ah. Right. That's great. I'm going to ask Fifine about that. Because they did make a revision. when I first made the review, you made me buy. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm glad you got it to work somehow because the initial batch, as good as the mic itself sounded, the USB cable, and even Dark Corner Studios keeps rambling on about this. Every other audio creator will talk about this horrible USB 2.0 connection. it's just, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, USB 2.0 has more to do with the data transfer speed than the actual shape. USB-C is basically that tiny thing, that tiny plug that goes into the back of an Android phone. That's USB-C. So if it's a letter, it's the port type. But if it's a number like 2.0, 3.0, that is the data transfer speed. So yeah, I would love to get my hands on a K688 revision because, like I said, I'm kind of attached to it. I've vlogged with a K688. I've vlogged with a K688. Comparable to the SM7B. That sounds very interesting, and I believe you. I believe that's absolutely possible. Fifine is known for great straight out of mic sounds. Joe Bayer says, it seems like you're a radio jockey. Thank you so much. I've never been on radio. I haven't done radio work. It is very difficult work based on what I've seen, and it really requires that you don't have dead air. Oh my goodness, that's what I know about radio, and that's why hats off to all of you radio jockeys out there. Goodness gracious, you keep thinking on your feet. I don't know how you guys do it. Right now, I am spoiled, guys. I am a voice-over actor. And you know what the over in voice-over stands for? Over again. You can record all over again. I'm kidding. That's an inside joke between voice actors. But over, yeah, it basically you have a voice over some scenery or animation. That's what it actually means. But yeah, I'm kind of much more used to a recording environment than a live environment, but I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to keep up here, and you guys have been so helpful. You guys have been so helpful with your questions and being so warm. Really, really appreciate it. Apex says another horrible sound card is the F9, which adds noise in XLR mode, making the mics unusable even with 48 volts of phantom power. F9. What is this F9 that you speak of? Well, I hope I don't have to review it on my channel because if I do review it, then I'm probably just going to warn people about it. That's all I'm going to do, right? Velma says, still waiting for the PD200x. I think this is an old message. I do already have it. Unearthly says, I didn't choose the PD200x over the K688 just because it looks weird and childish with all of those RGB lights. Yeah, that is a very subjective thing. I understand it. That is also my decision. Well, yeah, well, right now in XLR mode, when it's not crazy RGB, it's okay, yeah. A bit less resonant than the K688 for sure. Yeah. Plastic shock mount, though. K688 has way more metal. Are the knobs on the K688 metal? Oh, wait, it doesn't oh, wait, it does, it does. Are these metal? No, these are plastic knobs. Oh, well. Still pretty good. I would love to have the K688 reissue. You want to see the Maono AM20? Huh. I don't have the AM20. That is a model I haven't heard of. Is that new, or has that been around for quite some time? Let me look into it. Maono AM20. Or are you talking about the C2 Neo? Is that the interface? But let me look into it. Yeah, AM200 is what I know of. That's the interface, but I haven't seen. Yeah, my search results aren't showing me an AM20. Huh. Finally, the PD200x. Yes. This was minutes ago. All those boxes to find the mic, and it was right behind you. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. You know, sometimes, we look so far ahead, but the most important things are right beside us. Or behind us. Let's see. Premium here says bought two PD400X based on my review. Planning to start a podcast. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the trust. The PD400X, I'm gonna switch over because I can, because I love that mic. I do. It is. Let me switch over. Wait, I'm using the PD200X. I think we're done with the PD100. We can get rid of it. Okay. This mic is a chonky boy. Like, look at that. And by the way, before you guys ask, like, what mic stand are you using? Well, those are Lego blocks. Those are the adapters that come with the Maono mics. And, like, I just stacked them on top of each other with a base plate. And so, like, these two don't come with a PD200X. It's just up to here and the base plate. And I'm like, that's too short. I can't use that, man. And so here we are. Let's switch over to the PD400X. Let me turn. Oh, there we go. There we go. No processing, guys. No processing. This is the PD400X, and just hearing it, I just dropped my voice. like for some reason, it has that quality that made me switch my voice a little bit, but that's not really me switching my voice a lot. That's the mic capturing more of the lows, more of that warmth. Can you hear this? If you're gonna do a two-person podcast, Vocaster Two will really improve that. Unless I do believe Maono has come up with their own audio interface. I'm not sure it's targeted for streamers. It kind of looked like the Moto M2, so it's got more of that traditional musician vibe to it. It goes up to 60 dB, which is more than enough for the PD400X. But let's see what the 400X sounds with enhancement. Bam. Oh wow, that's much. That's a lot. This is radio. This is the radio preset. That is way too much. Let me turn it off. All right. Yeah, that was too much. And it also introduced hiss. Why did it introduce hiss? Well, because I have a huge treble boost. Let me drop that treble boost. I'm going to switch over to the warm preset. And this is the warm preset in the Vocaster hub. No, this is my customized warm preset. This is the standard warm preset. Yeah, not my cup of tea. What it did was add way more compression. And because compression is higher, I have to raise the gain. No. You gotta tweak this. Not my cup of tea. Should have stuck to my presets. Mid. I think the mids are fine. That's kind of part of its signature. All right, there's still a bit of a treble boost. Let me cut that. There we go. No more treble boost. There we go. Yeah, so PD200X times 2, start a podcast. It's great. It's just, can you hear it? It is incredible. Like, do you want us to compare this with the SM7B? Premium says, just want to thank you for your comprehensive review. You're welcome. Absolutely welcome. This is why we do what we do. K688 or AM8 for an untreated room? Good question. I think I answered that in my full video. Maybe I didn't answer it directly. I do have a versus video, K688 versus AM8. The AM8 captures more of the higher frequencies, just ever so slightly. But in terms of, you know, I don't want to answer it like point blank right now, because in my opinion, I think any difference would be negligible. They're both dynamic mics with very similar frequency responses, capture noise very similarly, very, very similar mics. To be honest, most of what you're paying for is appearance and build quality. That's what you're choosing. To be honest, I went to a racket store, like tennis racket store, with my wife the other day, so we could play test some rackets. And the clerk was honest enough to say, you know what, madam, my boss says there's really no point in choosing, like which one has the bigger racket head or, tension or the string tightness and all these things, because at the end of the day, you're paying for the looks. And I'm like, wow, that is the most honest thing I've heard from a store clerk and his boss. And so, honestly, between the K688 and AM8, it's a toss-up, guys. It's a toss-up. With the AM8, slightly better for those with a bit more of a mid-resonance. K688 for those with a higher resonance. That's just the general rule. Ale says, Cial, hey, hello, PD200x versus AM8. Have we done this? Oh, I have not done this. Not on the channel, at least. Not comprehensively. I think I may have done a fast review. Or was that K688 versus... I'm not sure. But, again, it's okay. AM8, better straight out of mic sound, in my opinion. PD200X, better full potential. That's it. That's really the main difference there. You can even choose based on looks at this point. So, guys, we're really looking for what, a 5 to 10% difference between these products? But in terms of sound, because objectively speaking, their noise floors, their preamplifier performance, their sensitivity, their plosive rejection is very, very similar. So I just want to save you that time. You really can't go wrong with either. If you are looking more long-term, though, like long-term, I would go, just personally, and no offense to those who chose or prefer the PD200X, I would go with the AM8, and then I would save up for a better audio interface. That's what I would do. Maybe because the AM8 sounds better on my voice. That's a condenser mic, isn't it? Which are we talking about? Which is the condenser mic? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Let's see. Someone is asking for a PD200X versus K688. Have we not done this? It keeps coming up. PD200X, K688. Same story, guys. Same story, really. K688, better straight out of mic. PD200X, more post-processing potential. But if you have a deeper voice, the PD200X is pretty solid on its own. Let's see. Christoph asks, yeah, could you also recommend a budget-friendly audio interface? So I was talking, you have a couple of options right now, and this is what I've been doing my research on as of late. Let me move out the interface, the mics a bit to add the interfaces into the scene right here. There you go. You have that Fifine SC1 right there. You have this Fifine SC3 right here. I think there's another one that I do have. The Maono Caster C2 Neo. Oh, there it is. Let me grab that. Maono Caster C2 Neo over here. There we go. 3 very good budget audio interfaces. Now, these are usually the ones that you'd be choosing from, and I do plan to make a more comprehensive review comparing these. But essentially, okay, let's start with the SC1. Let me move the camera ever so slightly. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so SE1. SE1. Oh, this is the SE3. I'm sorry. The SE3 is, I would say this is kind of like a gamer interface, really.
It's pretty good. It has auto tune. It has all these faders, but do not be mistaken. You are not going to get any EQ, compression, limiting. You won't be getting that stuff, but you will be getting custom pad switches for sound effects that you can play, laugh sound effects, gunshots, and things like that, whatever you want to add. You do have kind of like an auto tune feature that you can use. It's, it's fun. You have like a voice changer. You can sound like an orc, sound like a baby, I guess, which sounds more like a chipmunk or a gremlin, to me, in my opinion. You can change the RGB quite a bit, and it does have 48 volts phantom power. Now, do I recommend it for professional use? I'm a bit hesitant to say that I do, because I've recently checked out other reviews as well, just reviewing these mics, and some of them have spoken about the preamp performance being bad across the board. I have yet to verify this. I have to verify this because when I was using it, the SC3 sounded fine. It sounded fine to me. And I was not clipping when I was reviewing it, so maybe that is true, but I can't say for sure yet. Specs-wise, between the SC3 and the SC1, they are identical. They both have 80 converters of 16-bit 48. Is it 48 or is it 44.1? But basically, like, for sure, they're both 16-bit because Fifine has yet to do 24-bit, which is sad. Which is Fifine. If you are watching, please give us 24-bit. So yeah, if you're a gamer, kind of and a streamer and all that, and you just want to pack a bunch of fun things into a neat little package, sure, the SC3 could be worth looking into. It does just have one port. You have a couple more features here. You have your line out, in short, for sending your signal out, maybe to a couple of speakers. Line in, to receive audio yourself into the mix. It's pretty standard, actually. There is really not much of a difference between these two. The SC1, though, has an additional input for instruments. So that's something very functional and, in my opinion, much more useful than all the bells and whistles that the SC3 has. At least you can plug in a guitar or something if you're into that. But it's a very basic interface, to be honest. What I found between these two mics, they both have a pretty good signal-to-noise ratio. They really do kind of ever so slightly improve preamp performance, at least in my experience. And I'm not saying that in a scientific way that I looked into it, but there's just the perceived loudness of these mics was better in my experience, especially with the SC1. I'm a bit more sold on the SC1 personally. It is just a very simplistic interface, but it works. It does the job. So for the price of, say, $54.99, I think it's a solid buy, because back then, to even get into audio interfaces, you needed to spend way more. I believe the Scarlett 2i2, was the standard before the Solo came out. I remember hearing about the 2i2 every single day, and then just one day I heard, hey, there's now a Scarlett Solo, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So, just audio interfaces were really an expensive thing to begin with back then. So to have a $54.99 interface is pretty good. The Maono C2 Neo, don't know how to feel about this. It has the most features among these audio interfaces. It has Bluetooth. That means you can use your phone to connect to this, and it has its own onboard battery. You can take it with you to different places. It is the only one among these that has noise reduction. It has 3 levels, I think.
It even has sidechain, which lets you, you play music and then you talk and the music becomes quieter. So that's very useful. I think this is a step up to the SC3 in terms of what it's actually capable of doing features-wise. You do have 3 custom buttons as well, custom sound effects buttons. You have pitch presets. You have reverb presets. Again, I don't believe you have that for the SC1. So that's pretty neat. But I think when I believe when I was using the reverb presets, there was a bit of delay to the monitoring. It was a bit bothersome in my experience. And last thing and this could be a deal breaker for some of you guys, but if you use the C2 Neo, at least the copy that I got had inconsistent gain. It's weird. Like, if your gain levels are pretty low, you're going to hear that there's kind of this inconsistent buzzing sound, like, and then the moment that you raise it, like, up to a certain level of loudness with the faders higher, the gain higher, then that becomes like a so it becomes a more consistent kind of noise, but you get more noise. So that's kind of the thing that I've been noticing. Maono is kind of like Android, and Fifine is like Apple. And I'm not for either, by the way. I'm not for either. I've been on Android for quite some time. I only switched ecosystems because the family I married into, well, my wife, uses Apple. So I'm like, fine, let's use FaceTime. What do I mean by Fifine is like Apple and Maono is like Android? Fifine's specs are so low. They have like, by today's standards, the specs are low. They're bad. They're bad specs. In the same way that, Apple cameras and phones tend to have like the lower res screens and everything. Like, the RAM that comes with them is pretty low. It shouldn't be that low. But it's very simple to use and it just works. That's kind of like the philosophy I'm getting with Fifine. And with Maono, like, yeah, you got all these cool features. Like with Android, you have so much customization and flexibility. But later on, like, something is just going to stop working. So with this interface, I wanted to love it. I wanted to love it, really. It has the most features, but just missing out on having a solid foundation of good gain. Yeah, I think they kind of missed that. So there you have it. So I would cross out the C2 Neo for any professional use. If you're like just being a gamer, having some fun, well, fine. You can use the C2 Neo. You can use the SC1. You still can use the C2 Neo, just knowing that there's that inconsistency in gain. But if you're recording, SC1, I believe, is the way to go. Okay. So Oam Piang says, which audio interface do you use mostly and why? Okay. So for the past 3 years, I was using the Mo2 M2. It is somewhere here. I am not going to go look for it. Why that? Well, if you guys have looked up Julian Krause, great audio engineer on YouTube as well, it won the interface battle. And, I had to decide, like, it was the top interface for him, but was it the top interface for me? And so I looked into the specs, and I saw that it had a really low EIN. Again, quiet, noise floor, but loud volume. And just the gain meters. The gain meters were LED. You could see your sound granularly, like on the pixel level. Versus these interfaces, you get like these huge light bars. So the level of precision that you get for mixing and mastering is much higher. It also included a loopback feature. And I'll be very honest, the voiceover community went crazy over it. Simple as that. That was one part of it. That was one part. There was a lot of hype. And then I looked into the hype. I was like, well, there's hype, but is it legit? And so I looked into it, and it was very legit. They were hyping it out. And and it made sense that they hyped it out. So I really, really love that interface. And mine is beginning to conk out, but I know someone who has been using his for 3-4 years. And then the moment that he told Motu that my interface has stopped working, he was like, they were like, oh, okay, well, don't worry, we'll send you a replacement. And he was like, I've been using this for 3 years and you're sending me a new unit? It was crazy. Like, wow. You know, I could do that too. Doesn't feel right though, because my Motu is still kind of functional. It's not, you know, it's just, it has some dropouts. And when I run the preamps, like I need to give it 10 seconds before it stops having these pops and clicks. It didn't have these pops and clicks before. Now they're there. But it is still functional. That after it goes through that initial 10-second like warm-up phase, then it sounds crystal clear. So it just doesn't feel right to return it given its current state. But now though, my daily driver is, it's right here. It's called the Apollo Twin X. There you go. It's the Apollo Twin X. Why? Some people are going to say it's overpriced. I know that. It's $1,000 interface. Why would you do that? This is my philosophy, okay? If I were just to use the Apollo Twin X in its base form, as is, and compare the audio with that, with a Motu M2, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference unless you have studio headphones, because both of them are solid-state interfaces. In short, they both have a clinical sound. They don't have a lot of character. But the Twin X basically allows you to simulate higher-end hardware. It lets you have access to an ecosystem of plugins that emulate $4,000 channel strips and preamps and things like that. And you're like, wait, you're buying a chunk of hardware for the plugins. Well, it's not that simple, because those plugins are actually processed in real time in the interface. And so it changes the interface. It changes the sound at the analog level. Like live. Like you're not using your computer's power because you're using the DSP in the interface. Okay, that's it. So that's my reasoning behind that. And in the voiceover world, it's pretty much a standard. So James says EQ now have custom in Maono Link. Absolutely, which is great. Maybe he's talking about the Maono DM20. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, I do have the DM20. It is here. Thing is, I would have to change inputs for that. So it's USB-C only. It does not have XLR, so I wouldn't be able to do that. Dave finding the mic was like winning a game. Yeah, pretty much it was, Faith. It was. The mic stand, that mic stand, I'm trying to find a way to extend it in a budget way. Yeah, exactly. This is the budget way to do it. But really, guys, if you have these online platforms where you can buy mic stands, I got this one for $1, 70 cents. It's plastic, but it can carry the Tank 3 fine. It kind of wiggles, but it works, right? So you get a mic stand for the price of less than a trip to Starbucks. I'd take that mic stand. Okay. I now want to buy a microphone. I saw the clip. You are right to compare the K688 and the AM8. I know what to buy. What do you think? I really want to answer this, but it's really case to case, guys. Basically, objectively, they're the same, more or less. You're paying for differences in appearance. But if you got a chestier voice, get the AM8. If you got a thinner voice, go with the K688. That's generally what I've been wanting to say.
Man, not sure what this is referring to. When unused parts meet creativity. Yeah, this is it. That's the creativity. I think that's what you mean. Huge difference between the huge difference. Absolutely huge difference. The only thing they have in common, they have software. They use the software. That's it. But like they're completely different in terms of their philosophies. The 200X, it doesn't sound that great straight out of mic. It sounds decent, not great. But this, even though it does come with software, man. See, this sounds okay. So I was using enhancement there, but still, this is huge. Huge sound. I wasn't even driving it. There we go. If we want to drive it more, we can do this. We can do this. If you want to do this, right? Yeah, so if I do this, I can kind of really not exert my voice. Just get close to the mic, kind of talk to you guys. Incredible levels of sensitivity, lots of warmth. Crazy, crazy. But yeah, the preamps that come with the PD400X are so-so. They're good. They're good for the PD400X. But I think it really begins to shine when you use it with a proper audio interface. That's what I thought. Yeah, 400X, far better than the 200X. Absolutely agree. What is intense? Do I need to turn on the phantom power? No, I do not. The phantom power is generally used for condenser microphones. The 400X is a dynamic mic. However, when you get one of these, Fethead, very, very nice. This is powered by phantom power. And basically what happens when you get one of these, when you power it with phantom power, you don't have to crank your mic gain, your interface gain as high, so you get a quieter noise floor. Love that the K688 is so light. $10 Chinese mic stand isn't. Yes, exactly. Yes, you understand. You know, that's the thing with the SM7B. As much as I love it, it is velvety. It sounds great. But you know what? Yeah, the build quality is incredible. It's built like a tank. But it is also very high maintenance. It is very high maintenance. It needs a mic booster to work. It's the reference for being a gain-hungry mic. It is so needy. It does not need to be needy. But it is. And, you know, what else? What else? Yeah, so the gain and the weight. Because it weighs so much, you can't just get one of these, you know, like, cheap Chinese boom arms. I can't even move it. I don't. There we go. There we go. Get one of these, right? I could try. I could try mounting this onto an SM7B onto this. You guys want to see what happens when you mount the SM7B onto a cheap boom arm? I want to see what happens. I've never tried this before. It is frightening, but oh wow, it's sinking. Can it even go higher? Yeah, no, it's stuck. That does not happen. It's like, and so what happens is you are forced to buy a more expensive mic arm. You do not have to. It's like, so yeah, the thing with weight, and that's why I do have this mini weighing scale here, weighing all the time. You see this? I'm not sure you do. Let's see that. There we go. Mini weighing scale right there. We do use the metric system in the Philippines, so if I say grams, hope you understand. No hard feelings. Let's see. Take a look at this. Put it on top. See how much it weighs. It just weighs. That is
840 grams. You see that? Not sure you can. Right there, 840 grams for the SM7B. Right there, 840. That is heavy. What about this PD100? PD100 sounds pretty good. Okay, that's pretty heavy with a base plate though. 590 with a base plate. But this PD400X with a base plate. What does it weigh? Okay, that's a kilo for sure. Yeah, okay, that's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy with the base plate. Let me remove the base plate. I'm trying to make a point here. Don't embarrass me, Maono. I mean, PD400X. Let's remove the base plate and those extenders. Oops. 765. 764. 7.6 plus with the XLR cable connected. That's not bad. Okay, so can I mount this? I wonder if I can. Can we mount this? I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, I mean, that's an interesting low profile look. Yeah, no, let's not. I think I just gotta adjust the tension. Can I? I'm gonna try to adjust the tension. Yeah, no. Oh, well, that's better. But how long can it last like that? Probably not very not very long. Let's take it out. Right. But yeah, the K688 for sure can handle that. Okay. The K688 will be solid on that mic arm when you buy a mic because of the aesthetic. Exactly, Faith. Exactly. Can you show how to tweak the limiter and compressor for the 400X? Different for each person. I would gladly... Excuse me. Mute button. Let me use the mute. Love that mute button. Gladly do that when it gets to work. I gotta make sure the software works first. But it's pretty simple. It really isn't complicated. Funny story, my friend found two perfectly fine working Fifine K669d mics in the trash and gave one to me. Wow! Wow, who would do that? Who would throw K669Bs? Well, I guess they have gone down in value. Like, relative to everything else right now, they're probably E tier. Yeah, I plan to do a tier video, by the way, like you know, like S tier to E with the D and the everythings. Yeah, like I'm looking at these mics and I do have like letters that I see when I look at them. You know, like with Dragon Ball, you see like numbers. I see letters. I see their power levels in a sense. So, is that something you guys would like to see? I would be happy to do a tier video soon. Couldn't have been said better. I'm not sure what I said, but thank you. Thank you. Angelo Garcia, hi Dave, how's it going? I'm doing well, Angelo. I believe, yeah, let's get in touch. Fifine AM8 is the go-to budget mic. Right now, if you find it at its best price, it probably is as a USB mic. But it depends. Like, if you're a middle schooler who has no budget for anything, even the Fifine could be expensive, you could get something like a Zeal Sound USB. I looked into it. Looks crazy good for the price. I mean, the connectivity... Are you guys interested in that? The Zeal Sound? Like, $26 right now on Amazon. And you can connect it to your phone. You can use it on instruments. You can use it for ASMR. It's basically a modern, cheap Yeti. Yeah. But yeah, essentially the AM8 probably is really high tier. I don't want to spoil you guys, but it is either B, A, or S. That's where the AM8 has to be. Faith says, beside mics and interfaces, do you also review DAWs? Personally, I don't, because I think that would be unfair, because DAWs take an incredible amount of time to study and really get used to. I think of a DAW as a specific shape of a table, right? Every table that we have is organized in a certain place. Each DAW may have the same tools, but the tools are organized in different ways. You could have shelves down here. You could have like a cabinet over here. And that's essentially how DAWs are different. They're built different. They're graphic user interfaces, but a lot of them have very similar features. Not all of them are the same, though. Some of them do have features that are better than others. But essentially, DAWs are a way of organizing your workflow. That's the main thing differentiating them. So for me to try out another DAW, like, say, PreSonus Studio One, or top of my mind, even like get into Pro Tools a bit more, again, it's too much work, really, like, to keep learning DAWs. So for now, I've stuck to Reaper. I used to use Cool Edit Pro, which was the predecessor to Adobe Audition. And I also used Adobe Audition for quite some time. Have you ever heard of Soyuz mics, Russian premium condenser mics that are extremely overpriced, but they also sound amazing? Yes, I have heard of them. I've heard how they sound. When I get the budget, we'll look into them. I heard one Soyuz mic was supposedly better than the U87, according to some influencers. I can agree with that, because, to be honest, the U87, as great as it is right now, I mean, a bit of the price is part of brand legacy now. You can get very similar sounding mics in the $30K range. I betrayed Android. I feel you. I feel you. Best cheap mic to pair with Tune Q12. That is a good question. The Tune Q12, I wasn't able to extensively test it in condenser mode. I have a theory, please don't take my word for it, but I have a theory that if you use the 48 volts phantom power and use a condenser mic, like, say, a Neat Worker B2, you might be able to get more mileage out of the Tune Q12. Simply because you don't have to push the gain as much. Okay, you know what, guys? I'll try to wrap up in 5 minutes. Yeah, it's been quite a long stream. A very pleasant stream, by the way, and thank you so much for sticking around, by the way. James says, off topic, what headset do you use, and do you suggest it to the casual public user? Okay. First off, these are the Behringer Dynamic DT770 Pros, 250 ohms version. I do not recommend them to the casual public user, simply because you also need pro interfaces to power them. So with a Vocaster, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Think of it as like an SM7B for headphones. It's kind of like that. Requires more gain, more preamp gain, but at the same time, once it does have the gain that it needs, it has incredible quality. For the casual public user, depends on what casual really means. But if you were to get a version of this that's easier to use, and you don't plan on being an audio engineer, mixing and mastering, things like that, go with the 80 ohms version of this. You still get a lot of the accuracy and clarity that you get with a 250 ohms version. Not as accurate, but it gets much louder. So there's that. You also can't go wrong with, the Audio-Technica ATH series. These are great. Like, this is the M40X. Let me, I'm blocking it. Let me hide that. This is the M40X. And basically, the ATH series from Audio-Technica was designed to be extremely portable. Now, I have mixed feelings about the ATH series, because this M40X is working fine, and it's great, by the way, because you get to detach the cable like so. Oh, like so. Like so. Oh, there we go. There, like so, as I said. So these are meant to be extremely portable, but in the process of being more portable, the build quality kind of suffers, in my experience. I bought the flagship M70X. Priciest version of this was the equivalent of $350 in the Philippines. It broke within the year. Like, while I was wearing it, it snapped. Like, why? I have a small head, and it broke. So, at least in my experience, the 40X is good. Some swear by the 50Xs. Those are great too. If you're just starting out, the 20X could be, it's more than enough for most people. Pretty good headset. The great thing about the ATH series is because they're designed to be portable, they also aren't gain hungry, so to speak. So you can these are designed to plug into laptops, and they will still work fine with studio setups and with audio interfaces, and they come with a variety of cables. So this cable is the one that plugs into an audio interface. There's also a cable that plugs into a phone and a cable that plugs into a laptop. That's usually how the ATH series is set up. So, yeah, this is my wife's M40X, by the way. However, I really do tend to prefer the 770s, Beyerdynamic DT770s, simply because they're so much more plush and comfortable. Yeah, I do replace the pads once in a while, maybe once every year, every other year, because they do get dirty over time, but they are solid. The cables are stuck, so the build quality is legendary, right? Crazy build quality, crazy comfort, and incredible accuracy. That's why I use them for pretty much every situation. But, when I test these USB mics like the Fifine AM8, I use these because it would be unfair to test the headphone amps of these USB mics using a gain-hungry headset, so to speak. Where'd you get the mic stand extension? Any name or link? Unfortunately, no. Those are the extensions that came with the PD100s. So, yeah, I hope you don't buy two PD100s just to get an extension. Tank 3 versus K669d. Do the tones sound similar? Good question. Maybe you should watch the video when it's out. Yeah, but I do like the Tank 3. That's what I gotta say. But are they similar? I don't know. What do you think? Any cheap boom arm suggestion? PD200x is quite heavy as well. I got a couple of boom arms coming soon. I do use this as well, so I can show you guys that, hey, Dave's at this level in his career, and he's using this kind of a boom arm. Well, I want to let you guys know that you can make use of what you have. It doesn't have to be premium. It doesn't have to look premium. But really, the fine boom arms, the Maono ones, those look pretty good too. I haven't tried them myself, but I'm pretty sure they will deliver. I do think they're a bit pricier than I'd expected from these companies, but I think that's one thing I'm noticing as well, is they're trying to enter the not ultra cheap, but entry-level pricing of the audio industry at this point. Fifine and Maono. If you find something that's like a low profile boom arm, there's a good chance it'd work. You know, if it says that it can carry more than a kilogram or 2 kilograms, you'll be fine. That's really all you'll need. It also doesn't need to be an arm. You know, sometimes if you're okay with a tabletop, that works too. You know what? Just to prove a point, let's see what happens. Why don't I do this? See what happens. 70-cent boom arm. I've never done this actually. Oh wow. That actually works. Trusty, brandless, 70-cent tabletop stand. Okay, that is wobbly. Let me try to... That looks good. Well, let me tighten that up. Oh, hey, look at that. I guess this kind of works as long as I'm not touching it. Resonance? What resonance? What typing? Well, okay, you know what? Let's try moving it here. What happens if you move it on top? Because you can, right? Yeah, this works, guys. See? It's a little wobbly, but it'll work. 70 cents. I'm pretty sure you have a local equivalent of this somewhere. Let's try this out. I said 5 minutes, but I'm having so much fun. Oh, would you look at that? Wow. Low profile boom arm, anyone? Just that looks better. Yeah. Because here, I think we're working with gravity a bit more. Do not quote me on this. You can try to attempt this, but I make no guarantees that this will work out, but that looks like it's going to work. Huh? See? Probably going to sink. It's probably going to sink, but at least within this range, you can move it forward and backward. That's not half bad. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I could probably do this moving forward with unboxings. You know, if I do unboxings here, have the PD200x here, kind of works. Let's see. Yep, which mic is so effective? I think with my testing, the PD200x is probably the least effective, but honestly, between these three, it's a toss-up. It's very, very negligible. Between the AM8 and K668 in my testing, it was the K668, because the K668 blocks out the frequencies beyond 15 kilohertz. I believe the AM8 captures up to 16, so you're capturing more high-frequency sound, which includes a tiny bit of hiss. But really, you cannot go wrong with either. In terms of preserving the sound, that's a good question. You know, microphones are built like a tank. This is a tough pose. Let me go back. You gotta move back. The static would tend to come from the audio interface, not the mic. Usually, in my experience. I have yet to have a mic break on me or have more static. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had a mic break yet. I've either outgrown a mic or sold it. That's in my experience. Even the audio, if you mean like the static in USB mode, I'm afraid to say that there's really no preventing that, because kind of like how iPhones have built-in batteries, yeah, those are kind of like the USB mics of today. You don't replace their parts. They're kind of expected to be e-waste and are marketed as such. The strategy, I think, is just to make the most profit possible with the lowest price. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you are helping more people, right? You help more people get access to that amazing broadcast sound. So for interfaces and preamps, anything with a preamp, it is just generally a good habit to make every step gradual. That is to say, if you're going to do 48 volts, for instance, I would crank down the gain first and then press 48 volts. Because when your gain is high and you have 48 volts on and you turn it off, it's like, bam, there's usually like a pop that you hear in your headphones or your monitors. So you want to drag your gain down first, then hit the 48 volts. Same thing when turning your microphones, your interfaces on. I know sometimes we tend to get lazy that, we have the knobs already cranked up to the gain that we set them to because it's like a preset. But if we do it that way, yeah, there's a chance that, surges happen and we may damage the preamp. So those are real possibilities. Those are very, very real possibilities. Is there any way the software can be used? Is there any specific software that can be used to use OBS audio in Discord? I'll be honest, I haven't used Discord in a while. I've streamed in OBS, but like tossing OBS audio elsewhere, I haven't done that. I believe there are ways. You might want to look into Voicemeeter Banana. I believe it's for Windows only, but right now I don't have access to that myself. But that's a possibility. Like at this point in time, 2024, I'd be surprised if there still isn't some kind of proprietary software that lets you throw audio from OBS into Discord or Zoom. It's just, yeah. Later on, though, like once you can, if you have something like the Vocaster, Rodecaster, so on and so forth, you get to do that stuff at a hardware level. And in my experience, it is so much easier, because usually these workarounds, they work to an extent, but there tend to be some kind of routing issues. The more complex you get at the software level, there's just so much additional friction, and you become very software reliant. I like to sound better at the hardware level. By the way, guys, and I'm just dropping this out there for those of you who are listening, I am soon releasing a crash course on how to choose how to make good microphone buying decisions. Like basically I dump my brain into it. That's my idea, like as a business person and as an audio guy and voice actor, how to avoid my $900 audio mistakes. I did that before. I made 3 huge mistakes earlier on in my audio career, and basically I distill how to avoid those mistakes. We do have like one alpha tester who was part of the stream. Faith, if you're out there. Yeah. So I'm putting that out there, and the course, once it's fully fleshed out as a full course with 30, 40 or so videos, that would go out there for maybe $27, valued at $99 or so, maybe $19. But I am doing a pre-selling soon, just mentioning that. it's going to be $9 pre-selling. That is to say, $9 for the crash course, not the full course. Those are going to be two different things. Basically, I want to see, before I invest half a year of my time into producing a course, doing the research, the writing, content creation, and all that, the modules, I need to validate if this is something that can really benefit people. And the best way to do that is to start with what you call a minimum viable product, or basically the same concept with budget mics. Budget mics, they're not as expensive as premium mics, but they get the job done, right? And they essentially send the message that you have good audio. That's kind of the same philosophy behind the course and how I plan to build it. So $9. And yeah, that's why I'm saying it's $9, because I know a lot of you are looking to buy budget mics, and I don't want you to have to buy a $100 course or a $200 course when you're already thinking or just thinking about buying a budget mic, right? Doesn't make sense. But I think it's very, very possible that your $9 will improve your decision-making ability to avoid a $100 mistake. So I'm going to put like the very best core knowledge that I have from preamp noise, the signal chain, things like that. When is it better to choose a condenser versus a dynamic? What can you do to improve your space? Hint, you do not need a studio like this, and my studio has not always looked like this. I definitely had more humble beginnings. So that's the idea. The idea is for $9, you will never overspend on gear again. And that is what I hope to deliver in that course. So yeah, that crash course, right? It's like the mini version of the full course. So just mentioning that now, because I'm gonna drop it within April. Me watching my PD200x attached to the exact same cheap boom arm. Yep, exactly. Interesting thing about Takstar is a lot of information that 8kg mics are assembled in their factories. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if the assembly line does affect the final product. Maybe it does in terms of efficiency and price. I wonder about the parts, though. I do wonder about the labor. Interesting. Unearthly Goose, you are really convincing me about Takstar. I may do more research on them. Okay. Now hopefully they start sending us mics. Okay. Apex says I got a premium arm stand for nothing because the Fifine AM8 isn't even heavy. Exactly. That's the idea. That's the idea, guys. We're not running a TV show. We're running YouTube channels. We're running Discord streams and live streams. We ain't TV, radio broadcasters. But it would be pretty cool if we were, right? Fate says DAW review wouldn't be fair. Yeah. At this point. Yeah. Maybe if I somehow switch DAWs. I just don't see it happening anytime soon because I've really optimized Reaper to that degree that I'm really, really happy already. This is a cool concept for testing mics. Thank you, Kenny D. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think some people do this in their members-only channels. I'm just trying this out because they said, hey, vertical video is a new thing. Give it a shot. Okay, sure, let's do it. Vertical video. Voice of Sam says, hey, dude, may I know which streaming software you are using? I am using... What am I using? Streamlabs Talk Studio. I think I might have a referral link that gives a discount. I'm not sure. Let me take a look. Oh, there we go. Refern and oh, okay. I thought it was going to close the stream. Let's see. Does this give a discount? Does it give a discount? Oh, there we go. $9 discount applied at checkout for the first month. Okay, so you do get a discount if you decide to get this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check out my link because no one's ever asked, and it's my first time doing this, so I might as well. So let's see. So it will be $1 for the first month. I gotta log in. I gotta type passwords and stuff. I'm not sure how to do that now. Maybe I will later. I'll leave that in the stream down below. Okay. Anything else I'm missing? Use Samsung SR850. Oh yeah, that's also a great headset. Absolutely. Amazing sound for $30. Not really comfortable for 1.5 hours. Yeah. Ooh, I feel ya. Yeah. Yeah. So comfort, I think, is really one of the most underrated specs that people look into. Everyone's like, oh, let's talk about the accuracy. I mean, accuracy is incredible, of course, but what are you going to do with accuracy if you don't know what you're looking for? Right? You got to train your ears before accuracy even means anything. But hey, if you can get an accurate sounding pair of headphones that are comfortable, that's the best combo, I think. Okay, most $50. Okay, so $50. Again, I think the AM8. I tend to find that the AM8 is cheaper than the K688. If you can find the K688 for the same price, pretty cool too. I really want to keep talking about the Neat Worker B2. It's a condenser though, so if you have a noisy environment, maybe it's not for you. But. You know, sorry guys, I keep clipping. You know, I'll use more of the compressor. Let me... You know, I realize I've been using a high-pass filter. There we go. There. Oh my gosh, I was using a high-pass filter. I should not have used a high-pass filter. That doesn't do the mic justice. Raise the compressor a bit. There we go. There. Let's prevent that distortion. Okay, there we go. Okay, so $50. Most important thing is that it has XLR. Well, if we're talking about USB XLR combo mics, I really think the AM8, the K688, the PD200x, at that price range, those are the best options that you have. That's really it. If you have a bit more, maybe save up for the Tank 3. That is a great option as well. Let's keep going. What do you think about the Fifine K688? I absolutely love it. I use it in my sponsored videos. I use it for a lot of companies that require me to record tutorial videos for them. You know, like when software is new and people don't understand how to use the software and they have these spokespeople. Yeah, I use the K688 for that kind of stuff. Are you more into open back or closed back headphones, or have you tried open back headphones? Yes, I have tried open back headphones. They sounded amazing, but I think they're not the best for my use case. And let me explain. Open back is great because, again, you get more of that sense of soundstage. You can feel your environment still. It's kind of like having a pair of speakers wrap around your head. That's kind of how it feels like. But I think... You know, it's trying to solve two problems at once. But you do get problems in terms of leak. Audio leak. If you wear open back headphones, so these are closed back, right? Closed back. For those of you who don't know, closed back headphones are like this. They're sealed. They cup onto your ear. They are over ear. These are over ear closed back. I hate, I don't use the word hate a lot, but I hate on-ear headphones. I'm sorry. It's just, they squeeze my ears. I have small ears, and they still squeeze my ears. So over-ear, lovely comfort. Over-ear, closed back. This is the formula for recording professionals. These are necessary for recording vocals. I am a voice actor. I do audio as well. I'm not like a... I didn't graduate audio engineering or anything, but I do consider myself to be a sound guy. What am I trying to say? I lost my train of thought. Something to do with over ear and closed ear. Sorry, no, not over ear. Closed back and open back. So, open back is great for mixing, but if I were to use it in a recording session, the speakers, the drivers would bleed out the sound and go into my mic aside from my voice. And that would cause feedback in a feedback loop and, you know, problems, right? So close back all the way for me. The difference is not that big. Yeah, you do get a bit more soundstage, but if I'm really looking to get more soundstage, then I switch to my monitors. It's, you know, it's different. It's really different to have two huge sound sources to your left and right versus having them cupped onto your head. Okay. Whew, wow. I wonder when we're going to be done. But I'm having a lot of fun doing this, guys. I'm having lots and lots of fun. Difference between the AM8T and AM8. Very good question. I think I saw that a few days ago. I wasn't so sure of it either. I'm going to look into that. AM8T, fine. Usually those additional letters, they just mean they come with a boom arm. I'm looking at it right now. I think that's what it means. Excuse me. Might be the exact same microphone with a boom arm. I could be wrong. But that is what it seems. Yeah, there we go. Fifine AMT package comes with... Yeah, that's Fine's thing. It's kind of confusing. The moment they add a piece of gear or an accessory to the mic, it's as if the mic changed. But sometimes it isn't the same mic. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it is. Yeah, this is confusing. I'm looking into it as well. I would like to know. Okay, I'm at the AM8T page on Amazon, and then I'm scrolling down to the Q&As section, and there's like, it keeps mentioning just AM8. Just AM8. And now I'm looking, well, yeah, AM8T, kit AM8T, and mic AM8. So it seems to me that it really is just the stand. That's my take. I could be wrong, but it really seems to be that way. Okay. Let's keep going. I can vouch, use the exact same cheap boom arm for my PD200x. Works well, it doesn't sync the whole day I hang it though. Good for you. Fantastic. I'm glad it works for you, James. Oh yeah, this is amazing. Huh. Oh, there we go. NVIDIA Broadcaster, yeah. Too bad I'm not on an NVIDIA anymore. I used to like a few months ago. I was maybe almost a year ago already at this point. A Jabra headset, okay, for upward voice recording. It sucks. Ooh. Is there a website you know to adjust my voice to more quality recording on your task? You know, soon I hope to review something like the Fifine H9, H8 gaming headset, because gaming headsets are essentially complete sound kits. You get a headset and you get a mic, and essentially there's an audio interface inside that. That's what gaming headsets do. So potentially a gaming headset could solve that concern. No, the AM8 does not have software. Yeah, Faith is the alpha tester. Mac is saying, can we have a discount? $9 is the discount. I think that is incredibly reasonably priced for the price of 2 cups from Starbucks, or is that like a Big Mac in the States? Not too sure. Blanket Fortress of Solitude for better space. Absolutely. I've used the Blanket Fortress of Solitude to record commercials. Can we have that crash course? Well, I'm a firm believer that sometimes when you spend on something, you take it a bit more seriously, so... yeah. Preset missed out your live just now as I'm picking up my clothes. Do you need phantom power from the Mo 2? No, you do not need it, Premium. Absolutely, you do not. Vertigo videos for the what? Ah, Vertigo videos for the what? What did I do? Was my video shaky? Or did you mean vertical video? What's the mouse you're using, Dave? This is the Logitech Lift. It's kind of a hybrid between an ergo mouse and a productivity mouse. For me, I really value my health. I don't want to get like tennis elbow and painful wrists. So supposedly, this gives you a more natural form for your arm. You don't have to bend your wrist like this and do that all day. Because of this natural form, you can actually start using your elbow to move the mouse around. And so you use more muscles. You spread the motion out instead of relying on your wrist entirely. So that's one thing that's pretty cool. Also, it makes me feel like I'm piloting an alien spaceship or something. It's pretty cool. Or like those plasma rifles from Halo or something. What's the best sound setup in terms of compressor and limiter for PD200x? I would just set the limiter to -1 dB, just to make sure it doesn't clip, at least at the digital level. It can still clip or distort at the analog level, so you might destroy that. Compressor-wise, 3:1 ratio is really usually more than enough. Right now, I think I'm using... Oh, I don't have any compressors on right now. I think... There. Now I have the presets. It was off the whole time. Oh, that's too loud. That's too loud. Oh. Hello? Hello? There we go. Hello. Yeah, this should be better. Yeah. 3:1 for the compression. Limiter, -1, I would say. Usually does the job. Record 2 separate tracks if you're connect a PD200x to your computer through USB. C. Oh, are you basically saying XLR and USB-C at the same time? In my experience, I've not been able to do that. You just can't. You wouldn't be able to do that. At least not in my experience. Loving the stream. Expect me to be on the next one as well. Appreciate it, James. Good to know that people are on at this time, because usually the Americans are asleep at around this time. Love your content. The stream is amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Unearthly Goose. Okay. Oh, well, that is the last comment, I think. Is that the last one? Wow. Yeah, that's the last comment. I think we're good for today, guys. We've been going for almost 3 hours. Thank you for joining me. Really, really appreciate it. Please do stand by for the course, because if the initial crash course does not sell well, then I won't be making the full course. Just putting that out there as well. I do like to think that it is very reasonably priced, and of course, any proceeds from that would go into building this channel as well, because, guys, we got to pay for the mics. You know, I don't want to just keep receiving free mics from companies. I do buy my own mics as well, but each time I buy them, it's like, right? Eastern Europe, pretty early. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Unearthly Goose. Thank you so much. And budget sound treatment. Oh, yeah, for sure. Hopefully when my editor has more time. You know who my editor is, but let's keep that between us who are on this stream. So yes, have a good one, guys. Thank you for the time and for the engagement. Just having fun here, asking these questions. It really helps me understand what you guys are looking for and what gives you more value. It helps me create better content as well. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Take care.